On the program tonight, we'll speak to a national youth leader of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, Comrade Eze Onyebuchi-Chukwu, who is also the chairman forum of national youth leaders of all political parties in Nigeria. And he was the AMAC candidate for ABGA in the just concluded February 21st local council elections in the FCT. So we have joining us Comrade Eze Chukwu, who's joining us live in Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Comrade. So good to see you after the elections, and you're looking very refreshed.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So tonight on the show, we look at FCT elections as we do some reflections on what transpired, the election outcome and implication for us as a nation going forward. You participated in that election as a candidate for the All Progressive Grand Alliance in Abuja Municipal Area Council. How was it? I covered the election myself, but let's talk about it as somebody who had first-hand experience. And what is your first line of thoughts when you reflect on the activities of February 21st of February, the 21st of February, where we saw the results announced on the 22nd, which happened to be a Sunday?
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for taking me through this campaign without having any bad news, and also for safeguarding my followers. We did a strong grassroots campaign, went to places where it's not motorable, went to some very dangerous places in AMAC, and we didn't come out with any injury, any accident, or any loss of life. So, and that is with deep condolence to the young man who lost his life from ADC. So I am very grateful to God for that safety granted us in this journey. The election has come and gone, and honestly, I am not just glad, I'm happy because the stress is no longer there. Everyday movement.
It was very stressful.
Very stressful. It's not there any longer, but I came out with sober reflection. I came out with a heavy heart, not because I lost. Actually, I didn't lose. I usually tell anyone that call me and say, losing the election, I say I didn't lose the election. AMAC only lost opportunity to get it right. So it's AMAC that should be mourning, not me. People call me as if they've lost, as if I lost a life. And I said, no, I'm very strong. From the day of election, I was just going around and then was happy about everything. So, but I have a heavy heart because of what is happening in our political system. How are we going to get it right with what I saw on election day?
Right, so a lot of conversations about that. But I'd like to ask first, are you in support of the election as it was announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission? Are you in support of the results that were announced? From what was announced, we got to know that Christopher Michaelaku was returned elected as a chairman for a second term. And we've heard people, the candidates of the All Progressive All African Democratic Congress, that's the ADC, they've come out to say they are not in support of that announcement. Are you in support of that announcement?
Well, I had already congratulated the announced, the APC candidate. I didn't do that because the election was perfect. I did because election is about coming into leadership, right? And leadership is about service. Service is not actually by force. If you want to come and be a servant to someone and they said, no, you can't serve me, and you now force yourself, you must serve the person. Look at as if you have ulterior motive. So it's not as if the election was perfect, but there are also contributors from us, the masses. And that is what made me to say, congratulations, not because everything is okay, but it's not about me. It's all about AMAC, right? It's about the society. So if it's about the society and we contested and you won, whether you won by crook or by hook, however you won, there's no need coming to make too much trouble. But if it is obvious that you manipulated the process, I have right to go to court.
Right. So what are you telling us? Are you telling us by way of this interview, because your followers are watching and
Yes.
Nigerians are watching,
Yes.
that the ABGA candidate for Abuja Municipal Area Council election accepts the result as announced, and you will allow it to go that way?
We know the system of what importance, what will it add to me and my followers if I reject the result? You go to court, right? And then what happens? It's a waste of time and money. So all we can do is share our experiences, suggest a way forward if it can be taken. On the election day, I can tell you, I didn't see rigging. I saw vote buying.
Vote buying now,
Yes, vote buying. When I mean vote buying, it wasn't hidden. Open vote buying. I saw voter apathy, and that is the one that pains. It's not even the vote buying. The voter apathy. We had over 1,500 voter registration in my polling unit, but only 11 of us that voted. Everywhere was like the Amak was a ghost town on election day. I couldn't. My going around wasn't to check election. I wanted to know if it was only my polling unit. People didn't come out to vote. I began to ask myself, this is the most campaigned area council election in the history of Abuja. The ADC was there waving their flags everywhere. Their presidential candidate in the past election carrying him around here in the locals. SDP was there doing his own motorcade show. We were there moving in the grassroots everywhere. People were coming out in numbers, clapping. Where are these people? Why are they not coming out to vote? If you talk, they will tell you because they don't have hope again that the votes will count. How can a vote that is at home count? We need to, first of all, come out and do our part. Let it be the government have refused to do their part. So the heavy heart I have is how do we fix our nation with this mindset of getting angry? You know, each time government do their thing, we'll get angry and then avoid the next one. How do we get it right? So the voter apathy contributed majorly to whatever that happened in this election.
Right. So you mentioned some things. I'd like us to do some interrogation into some of the issues that you've raised. One of those issues has been the issue of vote buying. I covered the elections too. I started my coverage from LEA at Lugbe, which happened to be the rack center for Lugbe and Kabusa. And from there, I moved to Gariki, right, city center, and O2 polling units and some other polling units. Like you said, I guess there were some polling units that had a lot of persons come out. That, for instance, in city center, where the minister for special duties voted, we had quite a number of persons. But I also noticed that there were some polling units where the core members who were ad hoc staffs were like sleeping on duty, and I had to question that. So you raised that issue of voter apathy. I like that we interrogated more. What do you think are the root causes of this negligence to a civic responsibility? Because I saw young men playing football on election day.
Thank you. That's loss of trust. The people have been battered. They've been lied to. The injustice have been meted on the masses. They go out, stand in the sun, stay there from morning to night, and their vote will still not count. So this loss of trust, when we were campaigning, we kept telling people that we want to restore the hope of the people in politics. That after our leadership, people will have hope once more. Because I know personally that the masses have lost hope in the politics of their country. But that's not the way to build a nation. You can't lose hope. How many are the politicians? How many? They are not even up to 20% of the population. So if 80% will give up for 20% to do as they want, how do we fix the nation? So the voter apathy was unnecessary. It was just a show of anger. And those that came out, do you know that half of the people that came out actually came because they heard they were selling votes, not because they came to vote. If the election was free and fair, like no vote buying, you may have less than 10,000 people coming out to vote in the whole Mamak. So people were coming now because they are hearing that, I got 10,000 or I got 15,000. Somebody said he went home with 45,000. He collected money from different political parties. It's not only APC. It has become culture, a norm, that somebody will carry his PVC, say, go and vote. There's no lie, say, they have not given me money. You understand? So it is the distrust. The people have lost hope in the system. People have lost trust in politicians. People don't believe that that anything good can come out from it any longer. To them, it's better to stay at home than wasting their time going to look at the guy that died. Some of them will be like, oh, if he had stayed at home, will he die? Now that he died, did they still win? They will say no. You know, these are the things. Now the person that died, the system we have will not even care. They will leave that death now, loss of life, to the party that the person belonged to. Meanwhile, the party in power is supposed to reach out to the person that died, knowing that he came to participate, to exercise his civic duty. He came to make democracy work and lost his life. He actually lost his life performing national duty. And then he's supposed to be compensated. The family is supposed to be, giving scholarship and all of that, but it will not happen. This is Nigeria.
All right, so let's look at some of the processes that led to elections. You participated. How was the campaigns like? Because one of the things that we talk about was that it seemed we didn't really have interrogation of policies by the different candidates, meeting to interrogate each other, and that seems like something that is still lacking in our democracy. During the campaigns period, having more like debates, forums where the candidates interrogate each other's ideas and ideology. Did we have something like that?
Well, I think Global TV had something like that, and I commend them for that. The truth is that the media, with all due respect, the media are also not trying in building this nation. When it comes to election like this, the media should also create a platform where the candidates should come and sell their manifestos. But you see the big media houses charging you millions of naira, the masses taxing you here and there. So you must pay before you come and showcase what you want to do for the masses. What is the contribution of the media? Then after election, even if you want to come and say your experience, just as you invited, that's why I keep commending Global TV. Even if you want to come and say your experiences so that people can learn from it, the government can also listen to it and champion a way forward. They will still tell you must pay money. What is the work of the media? So the media would have, I was expecting debates, like they used to do with presidential election, but it's not, we are overlooking this area council election. Meanwhile, the government that is actually in direct contact with the people is the local government, the local government council, right? So we should pay more attention on the government of the grassroots. Because the president has no business with primary schools, has no business with all those primary health centers. It's local government work. So now, if we always overlook local government, how do we get it right? Can we possibly get the head right when the body is rotten? It's not possible. So the media did not do enough for me to at least publicize this candidate. Let the people even know who are the people contesting. What do they have for the people? So there wasn't that opportunity except for Global TV, of which I commend them.
All right, so the issues of interrogating people. Let's talk about the electoral umpire, INEC, as we have it, Independent National Electoral Commission, who constitutionally they are tasked with, the rights of announcing and midwiving these elections. And I know they had a series of engagements with different candidates and party stakeholders prior to the elections. Let me hear your assessment of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Well, there are some glitches, and I can only give them kudos. There are some glitches, but like I said, I can't tell you there is any rigging anywhere. They should also try their best, which is totally beyond their control. They recruit you to be an ad hoc staff. They can't also hold you not to collect bribe. The corruption that we have in this country is not with the government alone. It spreads across. A foreigner a prime minister once came here and said we are fantastically corrupt. Actually, he's very, very correct.
David Cameron.
The corruption is from the grassroots, from top to bottom. So you see the corpers who are graduating and coming to look for job, collecting money. You see police. You see all the people who are fielded to go and work, see it as an opportunity to make money, starting from the security to the corpers. You know me, I'm coming from civil society, I'm an activist, so one of the things working against, I will tell you exactly what I saw. There's no need of diplomacy or a politician and all of that. The corruption in the system is not the work of INEC to actually control it. I've given you a job, I said go and do it. Why not stand? Somebody was the one that stood for OT in Abia, right? A woman said, I will not behave like others. And that has ground that she stood at that time, brought in somebody that I believe is working very well for them, because I see the whole thing is doing on social media. When are we going to say no to stipends, stand with the truth, and bring up the best? This best, everyone will enjoy it. All the coppers that collect bribe in Abia are enjoying the dividends now. All the policemen that collect bribe are enjoying because of one woman. So when are we going to get it right? But even when the security people called us to interface with the candidates, I told them that one thing that I want you guys to know is that both the security, both the civilians, both the candidates, their followers, INEC, everybody will suffer the bad governance. So when you contribute to rigging election and bringing in who is not a popular candidate, who is not competent, you will suffer it. The money they give you will finish. That is what is happening. INEC did their best. They deployed their staff, deployed their materials. It is now beckoning on the citizens who are the ad hoc staff to do the right thing.
Right. So just prior to that election, we saw that discussion about e-transmission as to how results can be, transmitted from the polling booth when it's signed. What was the experience? Because the president signed it into law, and I saw, I think by 4 p.m. I went online, I saw some results. They were already being uploaded. Were you able to track results that were uploaded real time?
Well, that real time for me didn't happen. They uploaded, but by 7 o'clock, we had less than 70% of the results uploaded. So that one is just on paper, as usual. The real time didn't happen. And then there are places they didn't even upload, like in Greenwood. My councillor, the 4 polling units where my councillor has, believes he has strength, it didn't even exist. The votes happened there. But because probably because we won that place, they didn't even upload it. So it's not even among the numbers we got. And that is how it happened in Oroso. Some polling units were not even captured. It's not in that place right now if you check. So it didn't happen. And that is where INEC need to do better. If you say you want to do real-time, do real-time. If you want to upload, why should votes stop and the results are not uploaded? Is it not each time you finish in polling unit, you snap and upload, right? So why did you finish and then it's not uploaded? What is holding it? What is holding it is conclusion of whatever they are manipulating. So it didn't work.
Right. So, in your assessment, you say INEC, you give them a pass mark.
Yes, I will. They did their best. One of the things we are still suffering, including INEC and every other agency of Nigeria, is corruption. They did their best. They provided us with materials. They deployed their staff. There's no point where you will say INEC official did not show up. There's none. I didn't hear any. You can only say they came late. Maybe they came by past 8. So they did their best. Nobody will say you voted they didn't count, except the ones they didn't upload. But this gratification of officials, and they are collecting, you give them, they collect, is the only way that we should, I don't know whether it is the work of EFCC. If INEC doesn't have that power, there should be a legal backup where INEC should have power to arrest even their own ad hoc staff for collecting money from politicians.
Right. So have you spoken to other candidates from other parties in that election, away from maybe the chairman? Have you spoken to them? What has been the assessment, and what are the other candidates saying?
Yeah, I did. And it's one thing, they are not happy. They are not happy, that's just the thing. Majority of us, this is our first time, you know, the SDP guy, the ADC, I think this is their first time of contesting. Right. So they are not happy. This is my first time also, but knowing the system, I've been a long time an advocate of good governance. So I've known the system, how the system operates and all of that. While I was campaigning, of course, I was putting in my best to say, in case miracle wants to happen, let it not be that I didn't do my part. But of course, I also have my shock absorber reserved, knowing the system that I belong. So from the very moment I saw what was going on, I was just laughing, driving around and laughing. When they call, I will be the one even consoling my people. So they are not happy. They are not agreeing with the results, you know. But I keep telling them, well, the experience is much bigger than the results. However, you may have gone there to work. Me, if I have gone there, I won't be stealing. You understand? I may not even go there and be richer. I would have been working and working. So if I don't win, why should I be angry? I'm going there to work. I may have come out with white hair. You understand? So because I actually wanted to go and make a difference. So if I didn't win, I will wait and then support the person that won. I'll continue my advocacy. Anywhere they didn't get it right, I will tell them they're not getting it right. We went to villages in this same AMAC, where there's no water, no light, no school, no hospital. Where they drink from the same place where cows drink. And then on election day, that community, they call it Onape. Onape is in Orozo ward. On election day, my men who were going there, you know, the youth of that community blocked the road and said, nobody enters there except you want to vote for APC. Now tell me, are you going to blame government for lack of road in that place, lack of hospital, lack of roads, lack of water, and lack of lights? You are not. The people, the owners of the land say no. They prefer money that will give them on election day, they will vote, and then they don't need road. That is what happened that day. So there are places we need to call out the government to go and do their work.
Right. So let's talk about your situation report. How were you able to track your votes and the issue of agents? Did you have agents across all the polling booths? What was the system of tracking your votes?
Same corruption. We were in touch with our agents. There was no single polling unit we don't have agents. Now we're giving them the little money for transportation. Majority collected money from other political parties and even voted against us.
The agents of
I'm telling you the truth.
My agents of a political party, teaming up with other political parties.
I am telling you the truth.
Quite very
and
shocking.
not just ABGA. Some other political parties that do not have the money to share, they will collect the money of other big parties and then even vote against you. Whatever happening there, they don't care. Some of them remove their tag and put in their pockets. Collected that money and put in their pocket. How much is the money? Some 20,000, some 30,000, some 50,000. That is why some people sold their parties. So we had a lot of some very funny, terrible things happen on that day. You see your agents, you know, when we put agents, we'll plug someone there to monitor what is happening. You see your agent telling you that, my brother, whether you vote or not, they will still win. Let's collect the one we have and then know the one we achieve. Agents were selling out, collecting money from the ruling party to work against their own party.
Quite very shocking revelation there. But let's talk about your party now. I still have other questions I'll ask about the election. But for now, what was the process like from your party before the election, the support that you've gotten or you got from ABGA? And what is the process like and the support like after the election from your party?
Well, my party was there for me. They may have not followed me here and there to campaign. You know, my party was there for me. I have a governor, of course. They were there for me morally, always inquiring to know how it's going, you know, putting in their own ideas, strategies, and all of that. And this is a local government election. It's not something that I will expect my national chairman to come and follow me. Even when he wanted to come and end the campaign with me, I told him there's no need. So forgetting that Mr. Peter Obi is carrying his own this, is unnecessary. This is a local government election, for God's sake. So it's not, even if not because of...
the minister campaigned for the APC candidate.
Yes, he went there, I think, 2 days, just take him around. He will go and tell people that if you need more roads, vote for him. Just 2 or 3 days. It happened because Peter Obi was there, carrying his own person around. It was very unnecessary. This is a local government election. This is a presidential material. And then you just come and start. That is even what happened. That's why what happened. APC also mobilized, for the election, knowing that, we thought it's a local government election. We didn't know it's this valued, So this unnecessary attention was brought into it. And then there was this competition, show of power. I must do it and all of that. Those are the things that happened. My party was strongly behind me. Yes.
Right, so the All Progressive Grand Alliance really supported. So after the election, how's the reaching out been from your party?
Well, we just taking stock, and then checking out how did we fare, where did we get it wrong, how do we get it better next time. And of course, this is the first time ABGA is actually getting to this extent. ABGA has not been that visible when it comes to FCT election. In Kuje, I think we were the second in Kuje. Gwagwalada, I think second or third. Here we got first in some polling units, second in some wards, like in Gui, Orozo, second in some wards, and then fifth in the
total
result. So we did very well. ABGA fared well in this election, and that has been the discussion after the election. How do we maintain this momentum and all of that? So because it's the first time we are going this far, we had a lot of betrayers. We had people who were not ABGA in spirit.
There were moves within the party.
Yeah, so we had people who betrayed the party massively, including party officials. So it is just for us to take a stock and then know those who are really for the party and those that need to be kicked out for the party to move forward. It's usually a transactional process for ABGA in FCT. People will get the tickets and then contest to an extent, collect money, settle, and all of that. This is the first time ABGA people came out and say, I must win. Even with all the negotiations of come, step down, we'll do this.
People, you were called to come step down.
Yes, of course, twice. And with mouth-watering offers. Of course, the people who are in power, you'll be called.
That's the APC.
Yes, of course, you'll be called. It's normal. Like, if I was the one in power, I would approach people and say, let's work together. Let's work together. If it's appointment, I will give you. Me, I'm not calling it a battle. So there were moves and calls and meetings for that. But me, looking at the people who are already investing in the project, what will I be telling people? See people in the local areas producing posters with their money, having meetings, doing road shows, so you now go and collect money, collect position, and then you abandon them. I can't do that. So I told them, well, I can't do that because the project has gone beyond me. So let's move it to the end. If you get to the end and you win, I will congratulate you. If I am the one that win, please congratulate me. It's not by force to lead. And that's what happened. They won. And why should I go fighting? I congratulated them. So and I told my people, it is what it is.